Okay, so this person's a little nervous about coming through, a little anxious. It's not that they are. It's almost like they don't know where to start, but there's regret here. The energy just gone. This is a male, but this is a younger male. This is someone who did not. I feel like this is tragic. This is something that shouldn't have happened, but he talks about bad choices, mistakes, things that he should have done, things that he should have said to people, how he should have behaved, how he should have listened. His shoulders are forward. He's just really, he's angry with himself. He says that he was stubborn. Great smile. I gotta say, when he was in a good place, he was in a good place. But things happened to him that just sort of, he says, it was just overwhelming. It feels like this shouldn't have happened. He says that there's so much, like, it's hard to breathe, but it's also, like, I feel like there's something sitting on my chest, and I feel like there's, so sometimes that's kind of an impact or something that happened, but it just feels like it's overwhelming, and he's trying to show me something going on, but it's,
I just have a question. Is there a reason you keep using the word overwhelming?
yes, because I feel
Okay.
like I'm overwhelmed, and there's a very good chance that he's saying that to me, that whatever happened to him, his life was overwhelming. Everything was just, he keeps saying overwhelming, overwhelming. I just feel the energy gone. I feel like everything is just spiraling. He says that he could do really stupid things, make really stupid choices. And sometimes he didn't know why.
When you say young, like how young?
I want to say that he's like, this is someone who is 20s, maybe, young. It's like a range here that, because he's got like a baby face too. It's not like it's.
I had a friend pass away when I was 19, and he was probably about 21, 23.
Okay.
I was 22.
Okay. Was this something that.
It was tragic. It was
tragic. Was there an impact or something?
It was a drug overdose.
Okay.
His heart exploded, actually.
That's pretty impactful. That's why he keeps doing this. Yeah, I'll tell you, the way he feels, the way he's talking, he knows that he made stupid choices, but he knows that he did this to himself. But he says that there were a few people that stayed and tried to help him over and over again, and you were one of them. He says that he understands why people had to go and get away from him, because it was overwhelming to be around him because you wanted to choke him. He could not see the next day. He could not see what he needed to do to get better. It was just his. He says he was in a family that was, everybody was like this. So there's this friction and this, everyone at each other and all the, and he needed to get away from it. And so he taught himself to kind of go and leave the house. But he says that he also had pain, like physical pain. And there were a lot of things that all lined up that caused him to be in that position. But he says that You were like one of the only ones that got his sense of humor. You were the only one that really kind of made him laugh. That tried to get him to see that things were going to be better. You didn't give up on him. You were one of the very few people. I feel like there were 3 of you. I don't know if there was like, it just says that there was someone else. And the 2 of you either dealt with this together or were trying to get him some help. But there was one other person, he says.
Probably my friend Brandy.
Because you guys were really pissed off at him.
Yeah.
He understands that. He's like, you totally had to be pissed off at me. He's so angry with himself and he's so upset with himself, but yet still the people that were in his life all do the same thing. Like nobody learned. It's just this constant one after another, he says. He says that you have, he always knew that you were going to be, actually, he's kind of making fun of you because I think you're, the way that you, not that the way you parent, but do you have any kids?
No.
Who has kids?
Technically parent.
Well, wait a minute. So, what do you volunteer for? What do you volunteer for?
I would consider that volunteering.
I have a lot of nieces and nephews.
Well, are you constantly surrounded by children?
No.
All right. There is something that you do that you either it's like you are out there doing something for.
No, maybe it's not me.
It might not be. I'm asking him to be specific about what he's talking about with kids. Are you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm pregnant.
Oh, hell no. No, please. She cannot have a kid. Not now.
No, that's not it.
I love you, Katie, but...
You sure the person's that young?
Well, they come out.
I mean, I've had...
All right. So wait a minute. If I have 2 people here or 3 people and they're all coming through together, then they're all giving me different stories.
Mm.
But for whatever reason, he feels like whoever is talking to me is saying, you either put yourself out there and volunteer for different things that are like, I don't know what he's getting at. Are you always making plans? Like, are you making plans, make plans for people or try to get people going or motivated or something? No.
No, not really.
The only thing I can think of is the other 2. That's what I'm thinking, is your parents, because you help care for your parents. And
Well, I do kind of call my parents my children.
But you live with them, you know what I mean? That's caring
Like
for them.
Yeah.
I help them. They're not helpless, but they're kind of like teenagers. They can drive and dress themselves.
They love this conversation.
But they
dress
forget to
themselves.
eat enough protein and take their medicine sometimes. So, if that's my parent,
Then yes, I'm a parent.
Parenting.
they're my
Coming through.
senior teenagers.
No.
No.
There's something else, and it might be he's talking about, I don't know, animals. I don't know if there's like
No,
something
I don't even
like...
have animals.
No, that's okay. Don't worry. It's very possible that he came through first and brought somebody else through that maybe you know that had this, I don't know, the way that they come together, we'll figure it out. I'm not... But I know that person's here, this younger person who had this impact. Something went wrong. But that, you know, the fact that he's talking about someone with kids and the way you parent and volunteer for everything and you're constantly going everywhere all the time would mean I'm talking to you at some, you know, because I feel like you're that person, like constant going. So I don't know if you guys have a mutual friend,
I grew up with her.
but
She's
if
kinda
you know the same person or if you know someone that
I know
died.
she's talking about was friends, but I have no idea who the hell she's talking about died.
I mean, we've known a lot of...
Overdoses.
Is this kid that you are, did you know this kid?
The one
That's-
that I thought it was
Okay.
wasn't...
All right.
I don't want to hear from him, Steph. Just kidding. I'm totally screwing with you.
Your grandmother's
Totally
coming,
screwing.
right?
Good.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
That's all I care about.
Just tell me. Okay.
Who?
There is someone that knows you both. There is someone that is talking to both of you. And he is the one who passed drug overdose or impact. He's younger and he was a pain in the ass.
We've had multiple.
But I mean, like
recently,
really, really high. And the friend that you came through first is here and bringing him through because this guy knows both of
so
you.
who the hell is that guy?
So
Then maybe I can connect.
This
and figure out
guy-
who she's talking about.
Wellman.
Who?
Jay Wellman.
I don't know. Who that
That's
is.
why when she kept saying
No.
overwhelming, I was like,
no, he's here. But what he's talking about, who he brought through is this other guy who had the same experience, same type of death. Everything was very similar. That's who knows you both, and that's the one talking to you about everything you're doing.
Was
you
I
do
close
too
to them?
much. No, I don't know if you were close to them. I don't feel like, but it just feels to me like you either have a connection at school with the kids, or there's somebody that you have a connection to with maybe his kid. Something is like, he keeps drawing me to you, telling me that you do so much, that you do too much.
I don't volunteer. That shit doesn't happen.
Right,
I
but
do. I'll be honest.
But
They all know
no.
me. They all know I'm not in the school, but I don't have time to volunteer.
No, I don't. It's more of like you're involved in everything,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because you have to be. But
I'm trying to think.
okay, so
Brian?
if there's
That's
my
so
feeling
long
is
ago,
that
but that was a brain hemorrhage.
from drugs.
The only people I can think of is like Craig, but it's not like we were like close. I went to his funeral. We got Craig Kalachi. We have
I know, there's a
Steve
lot.
Antonella. Something happened.
Is it
with Steve.
recent or like years?
no, this is all for.
Absolutely. To the top
If
stairs.
there is
There's a light at the
all
bottom.
right, the connection to this person and you, one of your kids either knows this guy's.
Other side. Right. This.
Candace, come on. Right. One of your kids is either connected to this guy's family or you know them somehow. It's peripheral, but you know this family and you knew this kid. And for
That
whatever
guy?
reason, you either your kid is friendly to his kid, that they've been through a hard time and he needs to thank you. There is somebody that I'm thinking was from this town who had young kids.
I can't think the list. Just I have too many kids.
Right.
Trying to think through them.
Yeah. You do have to mention
I don't know. I can't think of it.
third.
I'm sure I will.
You're third.
That's Kayla. Kayla Renee.
What grade is she in?
Second grade. I had to think about that for a second. Maybe she's in third. She's in third.
They do keep
Great,
going.
great, yep. Third.
Do you know like the kids in the grade or the kids that she's been friends with?
Yeah, but they're not. None that I can think of. Like, one's like their dad's still alive. With people that I can think of.
All right. Well, look at the class. Just kind of try to figure out because for whatever reason he says that you're helping, or that your kid is helping.
I'll have to think about
And
it.
it
I
might be a
don't know.
boy. You know, like just she's kind to him.
I don't know.
All right. Well, you'll have to let me know.
Okay. Yeah, I can't think.
But you're this kid that comes through. No, there's like he's bringing people in that there are all these young. There's so many people, like you said, who have passed from an overdose, and they've had tragic, you know, endings. But he says that his life was doomed from the beginning. Like he feels like he didn't have a chance, even though he did. But he feels like he didn't have the people that supported him around him. And he but he's angry with himself because he had opportunities and he had options. And he feels like you gave him a lot of those options. You also, like, helped him out. Like, you bailed him out a few times. Not necessarily out of jail, but, like, you picked him up or you... Because he reached out to you a lot.
Yeah.
He showed me a white t-shirt. It has, like, blue on the collar and blue around the arm sleeve. It almost looks like it might be a picture that you have of him or something that he wore for, I don't know, he looks all, like, shaggy. Like, I feel like he's just, like, a mess. But he's got on this, yeah, it's a white t-shirt, but the blue or darker on the arm and sleeve and the collar. And something, I don't know, maybe a band? No. I don't know what this is on the
You
front.
just described my high school band's shirt.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
Did you happen to know someone who died of an overdose in high school that was in the band?
No one that I can think of.
Okay. That's funny.
I have pictures of them, but they're black, and most of them are like black and white for some reason.
So, I mean, it may not be. I mean, if you can't tell, you can tell the t-shirt's white and there's a dark color around the collar. There's. Just,
I only have like a couple of pictures of him, and I'm thinking right now. I think it was white.
Okay. He always wanted to do better, and he had so much potential to do better. And he's angry with himself, but he needs to thank you. He's grateful for everything that you gave him. Your friendship was so important, and he says it's a reflection on the person you are, because you care about everybody. You are always doing everything for everybody. That's who you are. And he says you did that for him. And he's very grateful for that. Yeah. I'm going to find out who that guy is that came through that second one, because it feels like he really just sort of, all he wanted to do was thank you.
All I can think of is, like, the recent ones we have is Craig Kalachi, Steve Antonellis, but he didn't have any kids. He tried to get me to give him money for drugs, but I refused, but that's...
Yeah, no, he wouldn't thank you for that.
No.
Or he might.
I refused. I didn't give it to him, but...
Well,
I wonder how...
you know, and it might be someone connected to your husband. It might be somebody that's like, that you don't even know is related to this person.
Yeah.
You know, if you just, it's could be that they're being raised by grandparents or by the mother and remarried or that kind of thing. You know, like this person could have died a long time ago. I wish he could give me more information. Maybe he will.
Yeah.
Like a name or something.